Today we take a look at what town officials are doing to cultivate business growth, and Barnstable's preschool program may soon have a new home. We have details about an upcoming school committee meeting. Plus, Cape Cod Community College is also making plans for the future. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Monday, February 3rd, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Governor Deval Patrick's State of the State address urged local municipalities to streamline permitting processes to help stimulate economic growth. Town Manager Tom Lynch says one way Barnstable has done just that is by creating a growth incentive zone.
Done a growth incentive zone to be able to take away one layer of permitting through the Cape Cod Commission. We're looking at e-permitting, and so that was a fairly positive look at the way the town is trying to assist local business people, develop. Then we seem to have a series of meetings all throughout the week where, one local businessman came in. He was talking about some expansion plans that he had and some issues that he had on the street. And then we had, earlier in the week, we knew the Harbor Hotel had, gone through the planning board, so we know that development is forthcoming. Then the Hyannis Area Chamber came in. Jessica Silva was sat, and we looked at some issues kind of Cape-wide. I heard that Bank of Cape Cod is going to open a branch over on 132.
Yep.
And then the Business Improvement District, local business man came in about doing some expansion, a new construction, maybe some living over the store apartments.
Lynch says it's also important for town officials to keep lines of communication open with local business leaders.
The town administration, the town council have all had a good working relationship with our Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce and Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce and the Business Improvement District, and we meet quite regularly to see what issues they might have around things like parking, signage, and then major issues like the whole infrastructure development. So we have over the years tried to set the table as it relates to governmental activity. We're not out there creating those jobs or subsidizing those businesses, but we're trying to make sure that all those areas, whether it's sewerage or clean water or any of that stuff, is and those infrastructure needs are activities that we're involved in. That's why you've seen major public road improvements, lighting, kind of entry, trying to focus development in our downtown area, as well as still recognizing the importance of the 132 corridor as it relates to different economic activities up there. So that's why you have a Kohl's coming in and an Old Navy moving over and Whole Foods expanding. So we're looking at all those areas and also our other economic centers like Barnstable Village and Osto Village to make sure that they have the infrastructure that is conducive to business coming in, and then also that we're being responsive on the regulatory side. So I meet a lot with Richard Scally and folks over at the regulatory services in terms of making sure permits are moving through. That's why we're moving forward with an e-permitting process. So it's very important to find out what their issues are, make sure we're on the same page with that, and then, as I say, set the table so that they can look to expand. And I think the proof of all that work has been that even during the downturn that we seem to be moving out of now, the economic downturn over the last few years, Barnstable still was able to have people coming in looking to invest, and you could see it on Main Street with new restaurants and new activity throughout our community. So we've been very fortunate because it means jobs, and it means people are able to live here, work here, and raise families.
Lynch says he is hopeful that this spring, summer, and fall season will be a strong economic time for the region. Some Barnstable public school programs are running out of space. Superintendent Dr. Mary Schakowsky will present her thoughts on how to deal with some of these issues at a special school committee meeting tomorrow night.
working for the past month or so to prepare a presentation to the school committee that outlines what our needs are specifically at our elementary schools. And, in particular, the portable classrooms that we've had. I presented those last year to the town council. The goal to eliminate the 5 remaining portables in the district. And once again, we're seeing a slight bubble increase at our elementary schools of enrollment. And with that, we're also trying to develop new programs for our special needs program to keep our students in district. So coupled with the closing of the schools, it creates some space needs. And more importantly, we've got over at Centerville an enrollment whereby possibly could be 35 students per class if we don't address it immediately. So, we're really concerned about this, and I think tomorrow night I'm going to present the school committee with some options to move our early learning program out of Centerville Elementary School to free up some space. There's currently 6 classrooms.
Schakowsky says they are looking at several different options to deal with the space crunch.
One is to move it to the high school, but we're finding that we may not have enough space to do that, nor will we allow for any kind of future growth. And as you know, there's so much discussion about universal preschool. It was in the governor's budget. It's in Obama's budget. That we're looking at possible growth. So I want to make a decision that not only addresses immediate needs but long-term needs. So the high school is one space. I've been asked to look at Marston's Mills Elementary School and reopening the school and what that would cost. So we're looking at that as an option, and we're also looking at permanent modular classrooms that would be added onto Hyannis West, where the growth actually is. So, looking at a number of different options. I met with Paul Hilton on Saturday and looking at, what if we took over Osterville Elementary School? What's the impact on that?
Schakowsky hopes the school committee will approve the plan. If approved, it would then go before town council. The special school committee meeting will be held tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in the Selectmen's Conference Room. A former Cape Cod Community College student is now one of only 14 people in the nation to have earned a full scholarship for a year of study at the University of Cambridge in England. Spokesperson Michael Gross says Morgan Opie is a great example of what Cape Cod Community College students can accomplish.
We couldn't be happier. We're extremely proud of our president. Cox sent a wonderful congratulatory message, and this is also what we do. I think one of the things that I truly want to emphasize, I think, with the story is that the community college truly is for the entire community in an incredible spectrum of students. I can remember at one point the valedictorian at Harwich was at the college, and she's now a highly successful individual in the IT realm up around 128. There are so many ways to use your community college. Here was a homeschool student who took it and rocketed from there into the finest of the finest in the country. Really a wonderful story.
Cape Cod Community College wasn't just celebrating Opie's success last week. They were also focusing on the future. Gross says Senate President Therese Murray toured the campus with President John Cox to get a feel for campus development.
She came at the invitation of Dr. Cox to take a look at the campus as it is now. It had been some time that she'd been there. There's a lot of proposals going on to renovate space within our science buildings when we build a new building. We really wanted to show her that, in fact, if in fact we can make this all happen, and maybe even with some additional state funds, we can show her how well we use those state funds. The very first stop she made was in the beautifully renovated dental hygiene suite, which is now the Wilkins Family Dental Clinic. And there we're bringing the public in to get a variety of dental services while we train dental hygienists. Any of the dentists in the area will tell you that they are extremely happy when they can hire one of our graduates. And this was a case of showing President Murray what used to be and now what it is.
Gross says the tour with Murray was a very productive visit. We also have a few cancellations for you this evening. Town officials canceled both the Recreation Commission meeting and the Town Council Roads Subcommittee meeting. Both of those were scheduled tonight. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannell.